Hi everyone, my name is Prabjot Saini and I welcome you all to my new YouTube channel, that is Prabjot Saini Classes. These classes are all about removing your fear of law and economics. I know and I can understand how difficult it is to study economics and law, but you need not worry because I am here to help you out with these two subjects. I will give you the tips and tricks to learn these subjects as well as how to write in an impressive manner. So this is a very introductory video of law, the very ABC and basics of law. And also we are not going to talk about any particular branch of law like criminal law, business laws or family laws. No, we are just talking about law, simple law. So in this video, we are going to talk about four basic questions, that is, what is law? Why do we need law? Who forms the law and how it is made? That's it. So let's begin. And I need to ask you a very general question, that what does it come to your mind when you hear this term law? I'm sure you might have heard this term earlier, maybe somewhere in the news channels, or you have heard talking to someone that law says this, law says that, right? So you might be saying like laws are some rules, some restrictions. Yes, you are absolutely right. But what you need to do is to elaborate a bit more. Don't worry, I'll explain to you and I will give you a very simple and easy definition of law. So what is law? Law is official rules and regulations of a country or state which describes what a person may or may not do. Now you will be thinking, what are official rules? Then what would be unofficial rules? What is the difference between the two? It's okay, they are quite natural to overcome these questions. So basically, official rules and regulations means those rules which are formed by our government or by any specialized authority whose authority is given by our government itself. So these rules are applicable to all the country and to all the citizens living in that particular country, and we are bound to follow those rules very strictly. Otherwise we will be punished as well if we are breaking these laws. So the unofficial rules and regulations means the domestic rules which are not applied to every citizen of a country. uh, let's take an example of your father. Suppose your father asks you or makes a rule that no one can smoke at home, right? So this rule that no one can smoke at home, you may do it outside but not at home. So what does it mean? Your father is binding you and maybe your siblings, but only the family members. He cannot bind all your neighbors, your society, your state, or even your country. He cannot. He is not supposed to bind anyone of your country to follow this rule. So this is what unofficial rules. So let's repeat it again. What is law? Law is official rules and regulations of a country or state which describes what a person may or may not do. Is it clear? And yes, I forget to tell you that I want everyone to make down notes. Trust me, they are going to help you a lot, especially in your exam period. It will be like the marvelous thing you can have. So please write down your notes and you can pause the video if you are running out of time. So please, let's move to our next topic, that is, why do we need law? So many of us will say that law are restrictions or we don't want to follow these rules. We just want to live freely. We don't want to be restricted, right? But just think a moment. that what would happen in our country if there would be no law. Just imagine. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are a shopkeeper of a stationery shop, right? So you are selling a notebook worth rupees 20 to a person who comes to your shop, right? You have given that person that notebook, and that person has asked you that he will return, that he will give you the money in 2 or 3 days. Okay, fine, you agreed to this. Then after 2 or 3 days you ask that person again that where is my money, where is my payment. Then if that person denies of payment and says that I will not pay the payment, what you will can do that, then what you will do? Just think over this. Can you do anything in that particular situation? Maybe you get angry, maybe this argument uh, may lead to a physical fight. There are chances, right? But if there is a particular law in our country, it is that law who can save you in this particular situation, and you can go to law and can claim your right. So coming back to our question, why do we need law? We need law to protect our rights as well as to maintain harmony in a country or a society. Got it? So our next topic, who can make laws? I can make law or you can make law? Really? No, we cannot make any kind of laws. As I have told you earlier, that all that rules and regulations we will be making will be termed as unofficial rules, domestic rules. They would not be termed as law, because law can only be made by the government, either by central government or state government. But persons like me or you cannot make law. Suppose I have make a law. I have written you can this, you can do this, that, this, that, and I have written a long page of rules set by me. Will you follow these rules? Will you follow these rules? No, you are not going to follow these rules. Why? Because I am an ordinary person and I am not authorized, and I have not given any kind of right that I can make laws for the country. So it is government who can form laws and who can make any kind of changes to any existing law, which we called as amendments. We will be talking about amendments in the later videos, but you just need to remember that it is only and only government who can enforce law, right? Enforce means to implement. Implement or applying, executing, these are very unofficial, or we can say informal words for implementing. But in law we use the word enforce, enforcement, enforcing. So I just want you all to remember this word, because this word is going to come repeatedly in your subject. So please remember this. What? Enforcement. Then our last and final question, that is how it is made. Now you must be wondering that yes, we have studied what is law, why do we need law, who forms a law. Now what? The procedure of how a law is made. First of all, a government thinks of any rule, that this rule should be implemented or should be enforced to our country, to the citizens of our country. But then government alone cannot make any law. Okay, so the rule that government wants to implement, write down on a paper with all its signatures, then that particular paper is known as bill. We call it as bill. Then that particular bill is given to Lok Sabha, the lower house of parliament, in order to get them signed and to get their approval. After that, if they approve that particular bill, it is given to Rajya Sabha, the upper house of parliament. Then it is given to president to sign on those papers. After that, it is the duty of our government to enforce those laws. So government alone cannot make laws. Although we say that government makes law, but this is not the fact that only government can make the laws. He needs to get it signed by Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and then the president. Only then a government has right to enforce that particular rule, or what we call it as law. That particular rule then becomes a law, an official rule and regulation of a country which is made by the government, which describes what a person may or may not do. So this is the end of our video, and I hope you like, comment and subscribe my channel so that you get the latest notifications of the videos which I will be uploading. And in the next video we will be discussing the introduction of business laws, and then the very first act of business law, that is the Indian Contract Act 1872. Okay, and introduction, nothing else. So take care, stay healthy and do subscribe my channel. Bye.